What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? What's going on? All right, y'all would bear with me. I'm just downloading these sheets so that y'all can see them on the screen. Welcome everybody to Atmos Love Zone Live. Let's see, y'all give me just one moment here. I'm almost done. There we go. 12696. Hope y'all having a good day on this Saturday. I really do. 55. Yeah, I'm just getting home, y'all. But I said, let me get in here so I can get with my folks and let's get some of this reading done. 55470. Where we at? 55470. There we go. If you don't mind, please hit the like button as you come in. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, and then one more and then we good, y'all. Let me put one more over here. Okay, here we go. All right, let me just get these all covered up. Okay, what's going on, y'all? Let me see who we got up in here. Who we got up in here this afternoon? I'm a Queen Newton is in the building. How you doing, Queen? How are you? How are you? How are you? Let me highlight you right quick. There we go. Diva Time is in the building. What's going on? Thank you, thank you. Friendly, what's going on? All right, Miss Jennifer, how you doing? Granny, what's going on? How you doing? Let me see here. You ready? Okay, Miss Vera in charge of Girls Walk. I know that's right. Latrice B, happy Saturday. How are you? Let me see. Miss Me, Miss Mo. I got it right that time. Miss Me, Miss Mo. How you doing? I know last time I murdered your name, right? Larry's Million is in the building. Larry's Million, check your email. Truth Strong Warrior. What's going on, my sister? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome in. Let me see. Make sure I don't miss nobody. Make sure I don't miss nobody. Indigo. What's going on, Indigo? How you doing? All right. All right. Let me see. What it do, boss? Miss Angie, what's going on? How you doing? Linda B, what's going on? Peter, hey. Keller, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? How you doing? How you doing? Miss Karen J, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Rocker with the Truth is in the building. And I believe that's everybody. I got Wings also hitting it out. Okay, y'all, so let's get started. So what we're doing today is we are going to start the process of day 3. So whatever happened on day 3, we are going to start there. After I am done, Diva The Divine Light is going to come on after me. And then, let me see. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, and then so we're trying to get everything together, y'all, so that so that we can kind of coordinate this, so that we're not stumbling over each other. Okay, so I'm gonna get going. Miss Angie Walker's also going to help us with these readings, also. Okay. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. So what I'm gonna do, y'all, I'm gonna start off with all the ones I got downloaded, and then I'm just gonna straight read from the transcript. Okay. So let me turn that off and let's get to it. All right, so this here is day 3. This is let's see here, United States District Court, Eastern District of New York, United States, going against Robert Sylvester Kelly. This is Friday, August the 20th, 2021. So let's see here. This was the transcript. Okay, so appearances by Jacqueline M. Kasulis, Elizabeth Geddes, Angelo and Canick. All right, let's see here. What else here? Just the other people here. Nicole Blayton Becker, Thomas A. Farinella, Calvin Scholar. Let me see here. The court reporter, who is Stacey A. Mance. All right, let me see what else we got here. So, in open court, the jury is not present. The courtroom deputy says, "All rise." Then the judge says, "All right, everybody, y'all can have a seat." There's a pause. The judge says, "Good morning, everybody. I think we're ready to go." And then she says, "Do you have a witness?" The government says, "Yes, we have a witness. We can bring him out. Just one quick thing, Your Honor. Our third witness is going to invoke the Fifth Amendment, and we are prepared to immunize him. I think usually we don't do that outside the presence of the jury." So this is Demetrius Smith, who is actually getting immunity from the government. So she was basically saying, we don't usually do this outside of the jury. So then the judge says yes. Then Ms. Geddes says, "So if we could take a short break after our second witness, it probably will align with the morning break." The judge says, "But at 11:30, I have another matter." Ms. Geddes says, "Okay." Then the judge says, "It's going to take a hot second, but yes, we will figure that out." Then the judge says, "Well, how long do you think these first two are going to be?" Ms. Geddes said, "I was just corrected. He's actually our fourth witness." But then the judge says, "Maybe after lunch." All right, let's move on. All right. And then Ms. Geddes says, "Probably." Then the court says, "Okay." Then Ms. Geddes says, "And then one other matter. Now, that witness has an attorney who will be present in the courtroom. And so we just need to know at some point where the attorney should be located." The judge says, "I think we decided that the attorney is going to be over where you've hopefully placed your And then Ms. Geddes said, our cart? The judge says, yes. Ms. Geddes says, we'll move it. The court says, look, we'll figure it out. But that's the fourth witness? The government says, yes. The court says, all right, anything else that we have to do before we start? Here comes Blank Becker. She says, I have one thing, Judge. The judge says, yes, into the microphone. Ms. Becker says, yes. Judge, there are medical records that were discussed yesterday. And I believe we have a stipulation and agreement that those records are not to be produced to the media or to the public. Then the judge says, I mean, they are personal records. Yes, that makes sense to me. Then the judge says, anything else? Ms. Geddes says, no, Your Honor. Would you like to bring our witness out? Would you like us to bring our witness out? The judge says, well, I guess that's fine. Okay, y'all, if you would please, I got 77 people in here and only 34 likes. If you would please like the video. Please, if you need to go outside, come back in and like the video. I would greatly appreciate that. Please like the video. Thank you. Ms. Geddes says, no, Your Honor. Would you like us to bring on our witness now? The judge says, well, I guess that's fine. Yes. The witness enters and takes a stand. The judge says, just have a seat over there, and we will turn to you in just a second. There's a pause in the proceedings. The courtroom deputy says, all rise. The courtroom deputy says, you may be seated. The court says, all right. This is what the judge says. All right. Good morning, everybody. I feel like it's a little warmer in here, but it could just be wishful thinking. Some of you are shaking heads, right? Or some of you are shaking heads, all right. All right. Anyway, I hope everybody had a good night. We are ready to proceed. The government is calling another witness. The government says, yes, Your Honor. The government called Anthony Navarro. The courtroom deputy says, Mr. Navarro, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to affirm that the answers that you give to the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Mr. Navarro says, yes. The courtroom deputy says, please state your name for the record. The witness says, Anthony Navarro. The courtroom deputy says, thank you. Be seated. The judge says, okay, Mr. Navarro, just a couple of things. First of all, our court reporters take down everything that you say. So please, don't talk too quickly and don't talk over whichever lawyer is asking you questions. I just want to make sure they can get everything down. Now, if there is a question that you don't understand or you need to have reported, let me know and just do your best to answer only the question that you're being asked. Okay? The witness says, okay. The court says, all right, go ahead. Ms. Geddes says, thank you, Your Honor. Y'all will please hit the like button. I got 85 people in here, only 42 likes. That is a huge difference. Please hit the like button. Thank you very much. All right. Says here, Anthony Navarro says he's called as a witness by the government, having been duly sworn and affirmed by the courtroom deputy, was examined and testifies as follows. Direct examination by Ms. Geddes. Good morning. Mr. Navarro says, hi. The judge says, did you receive a subpoena to testify here today? Navarro says, I did. The lawyer says, do you want to be here? Navarro says, in New York, yes, but not here. Oh, wow. He's something else. Okay. The lawyer says, how old are you? Navarro says, 36. The lawyer says, are you currently employed? Navarro says, I am. The lawyer says, what do you do? Navarro says, I own 2 businesses. I have a music production studio called Modus Flow and a smoothie shop called... The court said, keep your voice up. The witness says, okay, proper nutrition. The court said, much better. The lawyer says, how far did you go in school? How far did you go in school? Navarro says 5 years worth. Okay, hold on. And let me pull this up over here, y'all. Hold on. See what page that was. That was page 975. Let me go in here. Pull this up. Y'all will please hit the like button. Please hit the like. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, day 3. All right, what did I see? Was at 975. Okay, y'all. Here we go. All right. The lawyer says, where'd you go to school? Navarro says, Pensacola State College in Florida and Full Sail University. The lawyer said, what is Full Sail University, or what did you do at Full Sail University? Navarro said, I studied audio engineering and recorded arts. The lawyer said, how long were you there? Navarro said, it was for an associate's program, so about 2 years. The lawyer said, when did you graduate from Full Sail? Hold on, y'all. Did you graduate from Full Sail? He said, yes. She said, when did you graduate? He said, 2006. She said, where is Full Sail University located? Navarro said, it's in Winter Park, Florida, which is right outside of Orlando. The lawyer said, where, if anywhere, did you move after you finished at Full Sail? Navarro said, so after I graduated, I moved to the Los Angeles area in California. Lawyer said, and when you graduated, did you get a job in or near the field of audio engineering? Navarro said, yes, I did. The lawyer said, where'd you get a job? Navarro said, it was R. Kelly's recording studio called The Chocolate Factory. All right, we got 92 people in here. Thank y'all for coming in. If you will please hit the like button. If you really don't like the channel and you don't want to hear the truth, hit the dislike button. Either way, I'd appreciate it. The lawyer said, in what city was the chocolate factory? Mr. Navarro said, Olympia Fields, which is like a suburb of Chicago. The lawyer said, when did you begin? Navarro said, I started in summer of 2007, like July-ish. The lawyer said, do you see the individual you knew as R. Kelly in the courtroom today? Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, can you please point to him and describe an article of his clothing? Navarro said, gray suit, brown shirt. The court said, indicating the defendant. The lawyer said, thank you. The lawyer said, how long did you work for the defendant? Navarro said, it was about 2.5 years. The lawyer said, when you stopped working for the defendant, where was he and what was he doing? Navarro said he was on tour. The lawyer said, did you go on tour on that particular tour with the defendant? Navarro said, no, I did not. The lawyer said, do you recall to whom you gave your notice that you were stopping work, that you were stopping working for the defendant? Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, who did you give your notice to? Navarro said, his manager, Tom Arnold. The lawyer said, I'm showing the witness what's been marked as for identification as Government Exhibit 31. This is for the witness only, please. The lawyer said, do you recognize the individual shown in Government Exhibit 31? Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, who is that? Navarro said, that's Tom Arnold. The lawyer said, is that a fair and accurate photo of Tom Arnold? Navarro said it is. Y'all could please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. 52 likes, 91 people in here watching the channel. Please hit the like button. So for people that don't understand why we ask y'all to hit the like button, it is because it helps the algorithms to pick the channel up so we can spread the information to more people. When YouTube sees the like button and they see that people like it, then they push it into the algorithms where people that are searching for this information that are not privy, like people in the UK and overseas, they find this channel and then they can actually see us reading the transcripts. So if you'll please hit the like button, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Diva Time. All right. The government says, let me see here. The government offers Government Exhibit 31. Blake Becker said, no objection, Judge. The court said, that's in, and you can publish it. The lawyer said, thank you. Government's Exhibit 31 was received in evidence. So the government said, now, you testified that you gave notice to Tom Arnold. Do you recall where it was that you gave notice to him? The lawyer said, I'm sorry, Mr. Navarro said, yeah, it was at one of the shows. And I believe it was, we was in Chicago. The lawyer said, and when you say one of the shows, whose shows are you referring to? Navarro said, Rob's. The lawyer said, do you remember approximately what year that was? Navarro said, it was 2009. The lawyer said, and as you sit here today, do you know the show that it was in connection with? Navarro said, I believe it was the Ladies Make Some Noise tour. The lawyer said, and where again did you say the show was that you gave the notice to Tom Arnold? In what city? Navarro said, it was in Chicago. The lawyer said, during the time that you worked for the defendant, where did you work? Navarro said, it was at the recording studio, which was in his house. The lawyer said, in the defendant's house? Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, I'm showing what's in evidence as Government Exhibit 502A. Exhibit published. The lawyer said, do you recognize 502A? Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, what is that? Navarro said, she said, what is that? Navarro said, that's the security gate to the property, to the house. The lawyer said, where the defendant lived and where you worked? Navarro said, yes. Then the lawyer said, and I'm showing you witness, and I'm showing the witness only what's been marked for identification as Government Exhibit 502C. Then the lawyer said, do you recognize what's shown in 502C? Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, what is that? Navarro said, that's Rob's house. The lawyer said, and can you tell from what vantage point that photograph was taken? Navarro said, yeah. So that's the front. As soon as you enter the gate, past the security gates, that's facing the front of the house. The lawyer said, and is that a fair and accurate photograph of the location where the defendant lived and where you worked? Navarro said, yep. It looks like there's more trees than I remember, but that's it. The lawyer said, the government offers 502C. The judge says, any objection? Blake Becker says, no objection, Judge. The court says, all right, that's in, and you can publish it. The lawyer says, now you testified that you worked at the defendant's house. Where specifically did you work? Navarro said, in the recording studio that was inside the house. The lawyer said, and was there a name for the recording studio where you worked? Navarro said, yes, it's called the Chocolate Factory. The lawyer said, now, when you pull up to the defendant's residence, where were you working and what did you see? What's the first thing that you see? Navarro said, like, are you saying when you're driving into or it's a security gate? The lawyer says, once you go through the gate, can you describe the structures that are on the property? Navarro said, yes. There's a pause. Navarro said, oh, are you asking me to describe? The lawyer said, oh, yes. Navarro said, "Oh well, as soon as you go in, the judge says, I think we lost our mic." The witness says, "The battery's dead." So they paused. Navarro says, "Okay, so structures. As soon as you go in, there's you can see the house, and then there's a few different structures. There's to the right, there's a basketball court, a tennis court type of thing. There's a log cabin and a miniature log cabin in the yard." The judge, the lawyer says, "Where's the log cabin?" Navarro says, "It's in the front yard of the house. There's a garage. There's a few tents." The lawyer said, "You mentioned a garage. What type of garage was it? Was it an attached garage or a detached garage?" Navarro said, "It's a detached from the house." The lawyer said, "And you also mentioned some tents. Where were the tents situated?" Navarro said, "So the tents were like next to the garage. It was like tents to park cars, and then there's also like a gazebo tent that was just on the side of the house, which they had like a patio out there." The lawyer said, "Now, you testified that there was the chocolate factory at that location, correct?" Navarro said, "Yeah." The lawyer said, "Where was the chocolate factory located?" Navarro said the chocolate factory was in the basement of Rob's house. The lawyer said, "And would someone access and how would someone access the chocolate factory or the studio?" Navarro said, "To get to the studio, you had to, there was a side entrance towards the back of the house, and you had to go down these stairs to access it." And the lawyer said, "Is it fair to say that you spent some time in that studio as part of your employment with the defendant?" Navarro said, "Yes." The lawyer said, "Can you describe what is inside the studio, the layout of the studio?" Navarro says, "Yeah. So as soon as you walk in, there's a front desk reception with a computer. There's a couch, a sitting area, and then it's you walk in and there's a long hallway. A bunch of platinum plaques on the wall, and to the right at the end of the hallway there's a recording studio. There's a storage room, and then when you go past that, there's another door, and there's a stairwell to the main part of the house. And then you go down another hallway, and there's another recording studio with a machine room that has, like equipment. And then when you go past that, there's like another hallway with a movie theater, more storage rooms, a bathroom." And the lawyer said, "Now you just mentioned, I think, that there was a stairway to get to the other part of the house. Is that another way to get into the studio?" Navarro said, "Yes." The lawyer said, "So you could get to the studio in addition to the side entrance, which was previously testified. You could also get there from the inside of the defendant's residence?" Navarro said, "Yes." The lawyer said, "Now, you mentioned on two different recording studios in the basement area. Were there any names for those recording studios?" Navarro said, "Yes. The first was called Music One, and then it was Music One, or Studio One was the name of the one in the studios. And then the cabin was the name of the other one." The lawyer said, "Any reason why another studio will be called the cabin?" Navarro said, "Like the decor of the studio was designed to look like, the inside of a log cabin. So there were like logs on the wall." The lawyer said, "Was there a kitchen area in that basement part of the studio, or in the basement part of the chocolate factory was located?" Navarro said, "Yes." The lawyer said, "Where was that?" Navarro said, "The kitchenette was in, like as soon as, if you're coming in from the side entrance of the house, then there's the reception at the front desk, and then the kitchen was right there." The lawyer said, Now, as part of your employment with the defendant, did you have an opportunity to also spend time in the main house, so a part of the basement area where the chocolate factory was located? Navarro said yes. The lawyer said, how many floors do you recall in the main house? Navarro said, the main house had 3 floors. The lawyer said, had you been on each of those floors? Navarro said yes. The lawyer said, can you describe what's on the first floor? Navarro said yes. So the first floor was the kitchen. There's a pool room. The lawyer said, and when you say pool room, what are you referring to? Navarro said like it was an indoor swimming pool. So the kitchen, the living room, there was a giant like stage built for performances. There was a sunroom. There was another room that was set up like a bar, like a cigar room, and a couple of bathrooms. The lawyer said, how about the second floor? What's there? Navarro said, so the second floor was more bathrooms, and then there was also like a game room, which was like a room for, it had a pool table and things like that, and a lot of TVs, or it says in TVs. The lawyer said, how about the third floor? Navarro said the third floor was there, more rooms. The master bedroom was there. The lawyer said, and when you say more rooms, are you referring to bedrooms? Navarro said bedrooms, yes. The lawyer said, by the way, when you describe the 2 studios in the basement, does the chocolate factory refer to that entire area or just one particular studio there? Navarro says the chocolate factory is the whole studio. The lawyer said, now you also testified that there was a garage, a detached garage on the property. Have you been inside? Navarro said yes. The lawyer said, what was inside the garage? Navarro said inside the garage was like workout equipment. There was a boxing ring. There was a bed, a shower, and a bathroom. The lawyer said, what, if anything, do you recall being parked at the defendant's residence? Navarro said, sorry, y'all. Navarro said, so there's quite a few vehicles there. Do you need me to describe the vehicles? The government said, sure. Yes, please. Navarro said, all right, so there's a handful of SUVs. There's a Denali Expedition. There's a couple of Jeeps, Jeep Cherokees. There was a Maybach, a Lamborghini. The judge said, a what? Navarro said, a Lamborghini. The judge said, and what did you say before that? Navarro said, a Maybach or a Maybach. The judge said, okay, what is that? What kind of car is that? Navarro said, it's like a super luxury sedan type of Mercedes. The judge says, keep your voice up. Navarro said, okay. The judge says, thanks. Then the lawyer says, do you recall any other vehicles that were there when you were there? Navarro says, yeah. There's usually a couple of tour buses. The lawyer said, and were the tour buses kept there when you were there? Navarro said tour buses were kept in the driveway. The lawyer said, before you moved from Los Angeles to Chicago, let me back up. Did you move to Chicago because of the job that you got with the defendant? Navarro said yes. The lawyer said, so before you moved, what did you understand your job? What did you understand your job was going to be when you first started? Navarro said, so it was, what I understand was it's like an entry-level job into the recording studio business. So like a general assistant which does everything for the studio and everything from setting up sessions, cleaning, doing food runs, and like helping out staff. The lawyer said, did you understand it was going to be a paid or a unpaid position? Navarro said, initially, they got me on like an intern, which was an unpaid position. And then eventually I got hired as a paid position. The lawyer said, how long were you in that unpaid position? Navarro said, like 2 to 3 weeks. The lawyer said, and then you eventually were transferred over to a paid employee? Navarro said, correct, yes. Then the lawyer said, what if any paperwork were you given when you first started working at the chocolate factory for the defendant? Navarro said, just the standard W-2 forms, and then there was a non-disclosure agreement as well. The lawyer said, when you, what did you understand your obligations? Did you sign the non-disclosure agreement? Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, what did you understand were your obligations as part of the non-disclosure agreement? Navarro said, look, it's along the lines like privacy. So I wasn't supposed to share any kind of like information of what happens there. No, I couldn't take pictures and things like that. The lawyer said, once you arrived at the chocolate factory, what were your responsibilities? First as an intern and then later as a paid assistant. If y'all would please, so we got 110 people in here, if you would please be so kind and so gracious to hit the like button. I promise you it is free. Please hit the like button. If you are here and you really hate the channel, please hit the dislike button. Either way, I would appreciate it. Thank you. So it says here, Navarro says, well, the first thing that I did when I worked my first shift was I had to move a giant trampoline from the front of the house to the back of the house. And then cleaning duties, food runs, stocking up the studio with groceries and things. So that was like the initial duties. Then the lawyer said, did those duties change over time, or did you get additional duties over time? Navarro said, yeah, there were more responsibilities. So then it was more picking people up from the airport, driving around, delivering packages and things, more studio time. So I would be in the studio more helping with, helping the engineers and things like that. The lawyer said, you mentioned that one of your responsibilities were cleaning duties. What areas were you responsible for cleaning, or what did you end up cleaning? Navarro said pretty much the whole place, but most of it was down in the basement in the studios. So all those rooms like the theater, the studios, he said pretty much the whole place, but most of it was down in the basement in the studios. So all those rooms like the theater, the studios, sometimes I would clean the buses, the garage, or the pool room. The lawyer said, what if any camera equipment did you ever see inside the defendant's residence at Olympia Fields? Navarro said, so there's, it's a recording studio. So there's always a camera equipment somewhere. I've seen handheld cameras, those cameras, and like professional cameras, video cameras. The lawyer said, did you testified about the first that it was a recording studio and you saw cameras in that capacity. Did you ever see any camera equipment up on the 3rd floor of the residence? Navarro said yes. The lawyer said, what did you see? Navarro said, in the master bedroom, there was one time I had to go in there to get something, and there was cameras set up in there. The lawyer said, can you describe the cameras and what you saw? Navarro said, yeah, it was just a tripod. It was just on a tripod, and there was like a medium-sized camera. The lawyer said, were you able to determine whether the camera took still photographs or video camera that would take video? Hey everybody, I got 118 people in here. If y'all would please hit the like button. We got 84 likes and 118 people. Can we get to 100? Can we get to 100? That would be really great. I'd appreciate it. So, let me see. Take video. Then Navarro said, and this was a video. Hold on. Medium-sized camera. The lawyer said, were you able to determine whether the camera took still photographs or video camera that would take video? Navarro said, this was a video camera. Navarro said, the lawyer said, now, when you are an assistant for the defendant, where would you spend most of your time? Were you the inside of the studio and not run out and not running errands? Okay. The question was, when you were an assistant for the defendant, where would you spend most of your time when you were inside of the studio and not running errands? Mr. Navarro said, well, most of the time I would spend either in the studio or there was like an area for us, like the front reception area. So there's the desk and there's a chair and a couch and stuff right around there. The lawyer said, and what would you do when you were stationed in the reception area? Navarro said, so there was a computer, there was a security camera that with a TV screen, so you could see the front gate and other security cameras. Like you could let people into the gate, and there's also phone stations. The phones were stationed there, and you'd answer the phone, take messages, and things like that. So the lawyer said, generally speaking, who were the individuals who called the phones in the reception area where you were answering phones? Navarro said, so there's a lot of people that called. There was, Rob would call the studio, any of the manager's staff, and then there would be like business associates, and then there would be Rob's like girlfriends and guests and people inside the house. The lawyer said, now as you sit here today, do you recall the telephone numbers that were in the reception area? Navarro said, no. The lawyer said, do you remember the defendant's telephone number? Navarro said, no. The lawyer said, I'm showing the witness only what's been marked for identification as 3500 AN3. I am going to start with showing the second page. The lawyer said, do you recognize what I'm showing you? He said, yes. The lawyer said, generally speaking, what is it? Navarro said, that's the phone number to one of the lines at the Chocolate Factory studio. The lawyer said, and do you know where this phone number came from? Navarro said, yeah, that's I put that in there. Hold on. Navarro said, I put that in there. The lawyer said, is that a screenshot of your phone number? Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, does that refresh your recollection as to the phone number for the studio? Navarro said, yes, it does. The lawyer said, what is the phone number that was okay. The lawyer said, what is the phone number? What was the phone number for the studio back in the day? Navarro said, so it's blah, 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 blah. Then the lawyer says, I'm showing you the first page again. The lawyer said, the witness only. Then the lawyer said, generally speaking, What is shown there? Navarro said, all right, so that's the office number for the business office in downtown. The lawyer said, and when you say the business office downtown, what are you referring to? Navarro said, so the chocolate factory. The lawyer said, and where is the business office located? Navarro said, in Chicago. The lawyer said, downtown Chicago? Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, so not at Olympia Fields. Is that correct? Navarro said, right. This was a separate place. Then the lawyer said, do you recall who worked at the business office? Navarro said, yeah, it was Rob's business manager and accountant Daryl McDavid. The lawyer said, I'm going to show the witness what's in evidence. I'm showing everyone what's in evidence as Government Exhibit 12. Ms. Geddes said, do you recognize Government Exhibit 12? Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, who is that? Navarro said, that's Daryl McDavid. The lawyer said, that's the defendant's business manager at the time that you worked for him? Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, and going back to showing the witness only, the lawyer said, do you recall the telephone number for that office? Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, what is it? And he gave the number. Team Libra, what's up, sis? How you doing? Brewski Nada, what up, what up, what up? Then the lawyer said, I also asked you about the defendant's telephone number. Did you speak with the defendant over the telephone when you were working for him? Navarro said yes. The lawyer said, I'm going to show the witness only the third page of the Government Exhibit 3500 AM3. Then the lawyer said, does this refresh your recollection as to what the defendant's number was when you were working for him? Navarro said yes. The lawyer said, what is it? Blah, 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 blah. The lawyer said, now you testified that you would answer phones in the reception area. Is that correct? Okay, y'all, I got 121 people in here. If I can get 8 more people to hit the like button, get me to 100, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Y'all are amazing. Thank you. All right. So Navarro said yes. The lawyer said, what was the procedure for answering the phone calls at the chocolate factory? Navarro said, so you answer the phone and you do the greeting, chocolate factory, can I help you? And then whoever you find out who the call is for, if it's for Rob, then you would find out who's calling. And then you would just write down the message for him and give it to him to give it to Rob. And so he would answer it, so he could answer it. And the lawyer said, you testified that you would write a message. Do you recall how you would write those messages or on what you would write those messages? Then Navarro said, yeah, it was just a piece of paper with, you would just write down who the caller is, the name, and then you would write down which line it was. So it's either line 1 or line 2. The lawyer said, now when you were working as the assistant for the defendant, did you have a regular schedule that you worked? Navarro said yes. The lawyer said, what was that? Navarro said, I worked 5 days a week in either the night shift or the morning or the day shift. And those shifts were from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. or 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Wow, 12-hour shifts, huh? Then the lawyer said, do you recall when in your time with the defendant that you worked a day shift and when you worked an evening shift? Navarro said, yeah, so when I first started, it was the evening shifts. And then towards the later half of our time there, it was the day shift. Thank you, anybody who hit the cash out. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. The lawyer said, can you describe for the jury, or can you give some examples of some of the tasks or errands that you were asked to complete when you were an assistant? Navarro said, yeah, so there was a lot of food runs. The lawyer said, who are you making food runs for? Navarro said, a lot of food runs. I mean, for Rob, and a lot of food runs for the people at the house. The lawyer said, who was at the house? Navarro said, the girls. The lawyer said, and when you're referring to the house, what house are you referring to? Navarro said, Rob's house. The lawyer said, and can you tell me what you mean by a food run? Navarro said, well, people would call and request what that we order for them and bring it back. The lawyer said, and when you say people would call, who would call? Navarro said, Rob would call, or the girls in the house would call. The lawyer said, now, would you do what would you do when you received a telephone call from one of the women in the house who called? Navarro said, so you know, if it's a food run, then you write down the order, and then you would get permission to go and get it. The lawyer said, who would you get permission from? Navarro said, so it's either Rob or any of the managers, Tom Arnold, or who else? Junebug. The lawyer said, anyone else you recall? He said, it could be Donnie. Then the lawyer said, do you know Donnie's last name? Navarro said, Donnie Lyle. The lawyer said, I'm going to show the witness only what's been marked for identification as Government Exhibit 4. Thank you, Yada. I appreciate it. Thank you, I appreciate you. Then the lawyer, Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, who was that? Navarro said, that's Junebug. The lawyer said, and is Junebug a nickname or a true name? Navarro said, it's a nickname. The lawyer said, do you know Junebug's true name? Navarro said, I can't remember it, but the lawyer said, okay. Ms. Geddes said, the government offers Government Exhibit 4. The judge said, any objection? Ms. Blanker said, no objection. The court said, that's in evidence and you can publish it. So Government Exhibit 4 was received in evidence. The lawyer said, I'm showing the witness only what's been marked for identification as Government Exhibit 32. The lawyer said, do you recognize what's shown in Government Exhibit 32? Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, what is shown there? Navarro said, Donnie Lyle. Hey, y'all, I got 123 in here. I'm really close to that 100. Can I get one more like? And if you want to put more in, that's great. Can somebody bless me with another like, please? I'd appreciate it. Thank you. And the lawyer said, the government offers Government Exhibit 32. The judge said, any objection? Blank Becker said, no objection. The court said, let me just ask, do you have any objection to any of the photos coming in? If you rather do them photo by photo, that's completely fine. But it just seems like you're in a fair amount of agreement here. And if it will, move things along. Thank you for that 100 like. I appreciate you. Thank you. Whoever did that, thank you. And the lawyer says, completely understood, Judge. Then the judge said, why don't we figure out a break today? I just think that if there's a way that you're not disagreeing about it, there's no reason to go through this, but go ahead. Blank Becker said, thank you. Ms. Geddes said, may we publish 32? Government Exhibit 32? Then the lawyer said, now you said that you would get permission from, I think you said the defendant or Tom or Junebug or on occasion Donnie. What would you do once you receive permission to get the food? Navarro said, so, you would call the food order in and then you go get it. Sometimes, you have to get the money if there wasn't any money from, in the petty cash drawer. The lawyer said, what would you do once you picked up the food? Navarro said you bring it back, and so you bring the food back to the studio, and then you would let Rob know that the food has arrived, and one of the one of the managers know, or you would just go deliver it to the person. The lawyer said, and where would the person be? Navarro said the person will be anywhere in the house. So then the lawyer said, now when you said that you would let one of the managers know, were you referring to, who were you referring to when you said one of the managers? Navarro said, so like it's, whoever was on shift usually, but so Tom Arnold or Junebug or Donnie Lau. The lawyer said, were those considered some of the managers who worked for the defendant? Navarro said yes. The lawyer said, all right, now I asked you for some examples of the errands or tasks that you were asked to complete. And you just described that one of them would be to go on food runs. What are some other examples of errands or tasks that you were asked to do while you were an assistant with the defendant? Navarro said, oh, there was a lot of picking people up and driving around and a lot of, stuff like that. I mean, excuse me. Yeah, you might have to, go to the office to pick up something or, pick something up from somebody or drop it off. Drop stuff off. The lawyer said, so let's start with there was a lot of driving people around. What do you mean by that? And who are you driving around? Navarro said, mainly it was the girls that were coming to the studio. The lawyer said, and where would you be driving some of these girls who came to the studio? Navarro said, like, where I picked them up. Like where, hold on. He said, like, where were they when I picked, he said, like, where were they when I picked them up? The lawyer said, yes. From where to where would you be driving them? Navarro said, okay, so the airport, they could be at the airport from flying in from a different place, or they could be somewhere in Chicago. The lawyer said, and where would you take these individuals after you pick them up from either the airport or somewhere in Chicago? Navarro said, I mean, the place I would, take them to, it was always different. So it could be the studio or the house, or it could be anywhere. Like it could be the mall or the hotel, or, oftentimes like the tour bus was parked somewhere and, I would just take them to the tour bus. The lawyer said, and what would you do upon taking someone to the tour bus? Navarro said, I would let somebody know, either Rob or one of the managers, that the person has arrived. Then the lawyer said, and would the individual then spend time on the tour bus? Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, what if any rules or guidelines or protocols did you understand you were to follow while you were in the chocolate factory working for the defendant? Navarro said, I mean, some of the rules were just, obviously do your job. And like, I was supposed to be talking. I wasn't supposed to be talking to any of the girls or the guests that were in the house. The judge said, can you just speak up a little bit more? Whether it's talking louder or into the mic, I just want to make sure that everyone can hear you. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You can continue with your answer. Mr. Navarro said, I forgot the question. Sorry. Can you? The lawyer said, that's okay. I'll stop and then we can go back. She said, now you testified that you weren't supposed to speak with any of the girls or the other guest. Is that correct? Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, who did you learn that particular rule from? Navarro said, Rob. That's one of Rob's rules that for us, and then also Tom told me when I started. Lawyer said, you're referring to Tom Arnold? The Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, and what, if anything, were you supposed to do when the guests were in your presence? Navarro said, if I'm transporting them from somewhere and I was supposed to, not supposed to talk to them. The lawyer said, you testified that you would transport some of these guests. Who gave you instructions about who to pick up? Navarro said, usually it was one of the managers, Tom, Junebug, Donnie Lyle, or Rob. And the lawyer said, and once you were bringing one of these guests to the house, to the defendant's house, where would you bring them? You testified that on one occasion you brought them to the tour bus. Were there other locations within the house that you would bring these guests on location? Navarro said, yes, so I would bring them all over the property. So it could be into the studios, it could be upstairs, it could be pretty much anywhere on the property. Then the lawyer said, how would you know where to bring a particular person? And then Navarro said, I was given instructions to. On where they were supposed to go. The lawyer said, who would give you those instructions? Navarro said, one of the managers or Rob. Then the lawyer said, were there particular places or in the residence where you would more often bring these guests to? Navarro said, I can't remember. They would go everywhere. The lawyer said, when you say everywhere, could you explain some of the places specifically where you would bring them other than the tour bus, which you've already identified? Navarro said, yeah, so they could go to the garage, the tent, the log cabin outside, Music One, the log cabin studio, the reception area, the game room, the theater, the living room, the kitchen. Pretty much any of the rooms in the house. The lawyer said, what car would you use when you were picking up and transporting the defendant's guest? Navarro said, so at one point we had like a minivan, but then the minivan broke down, so we used, it could have been one of the SUVs, but usually we were instructed on which car to take during that particular pickup. The lawyer said, in those cars, sorry y'all, in those cars, and whose cars would you use? Would you use your own car or somebody else's? Navarro said, usually we use one of Rob's vehicles. Every once in a while, I would use my own personal vehicle, but not that often. The lawyer said, do you drive a Chrysler 300? Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, whose car was that? Navarro said, that was Rob's. The lawyer said, that was another car used by Rob that you would drive. Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, once a guest had been, and let me back up a moment. The guests who you described that you picked up and brought to a particular location within the defendant's residence, generally, who were they? Navarro said, who were the guests who came? The attorney said, I don't mean particular names, but who were they? What was their relationship? Like, what did you understand the relationship to be with the defendant? Navarro said they were girlfriends of Rob's. The lawyer said, now, once one of the defendant's guests was in a particular room or on a tour bus, what, if any, communications would you have with the guest? Navarro said, so they would call, the guests that were staying on the property would call down to the studio lines. The lawyer said, and what would be some of the reasons? What would be some of the reasons they would call? Navarro said, oftentimes it was to talk to Rob or they wanted to order food, or they needed stuff, like whatever they needed. The lawyer said, what were some other reasons that defendants might call? Excuse me, what were other reasons that a guest might call? Navarro said, so they would call for food, or they would call to talk to Rob, or they could, request a ride, like a ride sometimes. The lawyer said, rides where? Navarro said, some of them went home to their house, and then some of them wanted rides to, they would request rides to meet with Rob's, wherever he was, to meet Rob wherever he was. Then the lawyer said, what, if anything, would you do when you received a request for a ride from one of the defendants, female guest? Navarro said, so any of the requests from any of the guests, we have to run it by one of the managers or run it by Rob. The lawyer said, when you say run it by one of the managers or Rob, what do you mean? Navarro said, so, to get permission to do it, and then receive instructions on what to do with them. The lawyer said, what, if anything, do you recall about the manner in which the defendant's female guests were dressed? I see what she doing. Ooh, okay. Lawyer said, Navarro said, so if they were going out or going somewhere like to the mall or to go shopping or going out, they would have I guess just like normal clothes, but then most of the time they were just, lounging in the house somewhere. So they would be in, pajamas like clothing. Ms. Geddes said, what was your understanding based on your interactions with these guests in the time that you spent at Olympia Fields working for the defendant? What was your understanding of the rules that some of the defendants' female guests were to follow? Blank Becker says, objection! The judge says, overruled. Then Navarro said, so the question was, what was my understanding of the guest rules? The lawyer said yes. Navarro said, look, they had to get permission to do most things. They have to call either down to the studio or get a hold of Rob if they wanted anything like food or things like that. The judge said, how did you know that? How did you know those were the rules? Navarro said, I was told that. The lawyer said, by whom? Navarro said, by Rob and by managers. If anyone called, the rule was if anyone calls for anything, run it by, ask us first, and then we'll tell you what to do. Then the lawyer said, what, if anything, do you understand that you should do if you encountered a female guest outside of the location or room where that guest had been escorted to? Navarro said, I would pretty much just ask them if they needed help or if they were looking for something, and then just, you would also let somebody know, one of the managers know that the person's out and about. The lawyer said, and what, if any, conversations did you have with the defendant about an individual leaving their assigned room? Navarro said, the general rule was if they're not where they're supposed to be, then you have to call and either tell Rob or whoever is managing at the time. The lawyer said, and when you say if they're not where they're supposed to be, where did you understand they were supposed to be? Blank Becker said, objection! The court said, overruled. Navarro said, so the instructions whenever they were to go to their, So the instructions whenever they were to go where they're supposed to be. Like, for instance, if they're supposed to be in the cabin recording studio, they weren't supposed to be wandering around. They weren't supposed to leave that room. And if they did, then we were instructed to let somebody know. The lawyer said, I'm showing the witness only what's been marked for identification as Government Exhibit 70. She said, do you recognize the individual shown in the Government Exhibit 70? Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, what do you recognize? Who do you recognize? Hold on. How do you recognize that individual? Navarro said, she was one of the guests that were at the house, the studio. The lawyer said, and is that a fair and accurate photo of one of the guests in the studio? Navarro said, yes. The lawyer said, do you recall this particular individual's name? Navarro said, it's something with a J. Ms. Geddes said, the Government Office, Exhibit 70. The court said, any objection? Blank Becker said, no objection. The court said, all right, that's in evidence. You can publish it. The Government Exhibit 70 was received in evidence. The above reference to exhibit was published to the jury. Okay. Then the lawyer said, where do you recall seeing the individual shown in the Government Exhibit 70? Navarro said, inside the house. So she was there. So she was there. The lawyer said, what, if anything, do you recall about this particular individual? Navarro said, I just remember giving her rides. I think I picked her up. I've picked her up food for her, as well as bought it to the house. If y'all would please, I got about 139 people in here. If you would please be so kind as to hit the like button or the dislike button if you simply don't like this channel or don't want to hear the truth. I'd appreciate that. Thank you very much. The lawyer said, I think you testified earlier, but tell me if I'm wrong, that you would also bring guests to other locations, like bring guests home. Is that correct? Navarro said yes. The lawyer said, and how again would you know that it was time to bring a particular guest home? Navarro said, so, if they're at the house, then if they wanted to go somewhere, they would call down to the studio to get permission. So they would directly talk to Rob to request a ride home, or they would ask us to then, we would relay the message to Rob. And then the lawyer said, and what, if anything, do you recall giving to an individual as they were leaving? Navarro says sometimes they would get envelopes of money. The lawyer said, how would you know to give them an envelope of money? Or how would you know to give an envelope of money to a particular individual? Navarro said, so either the manager, one of the managers would instruct who would give it to me and instruct us to give it to them, or Rob would. If y'all would please hit the like button, please hit the like button. I would appreciate it. Then the lawyer said, as part of your job as an assistant, were you asked to pick up any medication? Navarro said yes. Lawyer said, and where would you be asked, and where were you asked to pick up where were you asked to pick up medication from? Navarro said a pharmacy. I think it was Walgreens. Also, I picked it up from a doctor downtown. The lawyer said, who was the doctor? Navarro said, I can't remember the name. The lawyer said, okay. who did you understand the medication was for? Navarro said it was for Rob. The lawyer said, what kinds of, did you ever see the types of medications that you picked up? Navarro said, yes. The attorney said, what type of medication do you recall picking up? Navarro said, the medication is called Valtrex. The lawyer said, you testified earlier about a gate that was outside the defendant's residence. What, if any, security did the defendant have in place in addition to the gate? Navarro said, there is usually a security guard or a couple of security guards out there in the truck. Then the lawyer said, so there is security guards stationed? Navarro said, at the front gate. They had a vehicle that they would sit in. The lawyer said, and what were the security guards? What did you understand the security guards were responsible for doing? Navarro said they greeted people who would come into the gate, and then they would escort people around. Yeah, so wherever Rob would go, they would also be like bodyguards and security people. Okay, then the lawyer said, and I think you testified that people will also escort people from the gate. How was the gate opened? Okay, y'all. So, this is where I stop. I'm stopping at page 510. So, Diva The Divine Light, if y'all would go over to her page, she will be going live at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. So, that's in about 20 minutes. So, for y'all that have been sitting here being patient, if you want to go get some popcorn or go use the bathroom or go fix you something to eat real quick so you don't miss what's happening next, this will be your 20-minute period to do that, okay? So, Diva The Divine Light, I am stopping at page, you can start reading from the top of page 511. That is where I am stopping, and she will pick it up. And then she will let y'all know what's going to happen after that, okay? But I won't offer an opinion on what I read, because I did. People were saying, oh, he must be biased and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And no, I'm not going to say I'm biased. I want the truth to be out here. That's why we read the transcripts. I do want the truth. I do want the truth. Hold on. Okay. Also, after Diva goes on, so Diva will go on from 6:30 to probably about 8:30, and then WhitneyD Tv will come on after her. WhitneyD Tv will come on after her. So that's awesome. So y'all gonna get to see two other great personalities, two other great channels that will be coming on, and y'all can move on. Make sure y'all don't miss nothing, okay? So, Diva The Divine Light. Go to Diva The Divine Light. If anybody got her link, put it in my chat. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Push the notification bell so that you can get all of whenever I go live. But at 6:30, Diva The Divine Light is scheduled to come on. Y'all, please let her know that I stopped at page 511, so she can start at the top of 511. Okay, yes, there you go. Thank you, Ndingo. 6:30, top of the page, 511. Diva Divine Light channel on YouTube. After she goes on, then WhitneyD Tv will be going live to hop in, and she's going to do another 30 or so pages also, okay? Thank y'all so much for coming over here. If you would like to, please follow me on Twitter at Atmos_LoveZone. I also do have some in my community wall. I do have some questions for y'all, so you can vote on different questions I have in there that kind of give us a temperature on how people are feeling about the case. If you feel like the defense is winning, if you feel like the prosecution is winning, if you feel like neither one of them don't know what the hell they're doing, then you can go ahead and post that. So Larry's Million just put in the link for Diva Divine's channel. Hold on, WhitneyD after Diva The Divine Light. Yes, WhitneyD TV will come on after Diva The Divine Light. If you all would please support those channels, subscribe to those channels so you can get their notifications also. But listen, I love y'all. Thank y'all for coming in, and let's continue to put the truth out here. And I told you, I'm just gonna be real with y'all. There are gonna be some things that hurt that we're gonna read. Yesterday I did, I showed emotion on a part that it hit not just me, it hit other people too. But when you're actually reading it, it hits a different way. And I like to read with expression. I like to kind of put myself in the mindset of the lawyer, mindset of the judge, the mindset of the witness. So when I read this stuff to y'all, I'm reading it because I'm really trying to put myself in that place so y'all feel like y'all really in a courtroom, okay? And so when we read these things, sometimes it really hits. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I hear you, friendly. R. Kelly be home, be free soon. Okay, I hear you, brother. You're entitled to your opinion. Okay, and our channel by Angie will also be going live. She will try to go live after WhitneyD. Okay, so WhitneyD, if you could announce where you left off, so that our channel by Angie will. So Miss Angie, just so you know, we are reading day 3. So by the time y'all get in there, it's gonna be, y'all gonna be getting into the juicy potatoes by the time they get to you. Okay. So y'all, I'm about to get out of here. It's time to get someone, take my wife to dinner. It is Saturday. I've been putting a lot of time in on here with y'all, but y'all my family, so I try to do that. Fight for Freedom said R. Kelly is innocent. You are entitled to your, guess what? R. Kelly got his fans and all that, and it's all good. And listen, here's what y'all need to understand the truth of. Before all this craziness, most of us were R. Kelly fans. And I had to learn how to separate the man from the music, because who don't love R. Kelly music, right? A lot of us was born off R. Kelly music. However, once you understand that people's talents have nothing to do with their morals or their values, you got to separate yourself from it. Then you have to do what you have to do, and you have to go with your morals, okay? I think I saw Sky Zone in here. Sky Zone, what's going on? How you doing? I'm not Sky Zone. It was Sky Life. The Truth, what's going on, y'all? I wish the Truth start reading with us, because I love her channel. The Truth, if you ever want to jump in here and read with us, I would love for us to share love and bring people to your channel also. Atmos, can you put out the pages in the description? Can you out the pages in description? Okay. Put the page. Okay, I got you. So put the links in the description for the page. Okay, I got you now. I got you. All right, y'all. Listen. I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. I will get their links and put them in the description of the video for y'all, okay? God bless y'all. I will holler at y'all later. Peace.